Brooklyn bound train is now arriving.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
This is Times Square for submission.
Transfer is available to the shuttle to Grand Central.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New Yorkers Podcast, a podcast by myself, Kelly Kopp, New York City Kopp. I'm your host as well. I'm a published photographer, New York City tour business owner, content creator, podcaster, and above all else, a New Yorker. How you doing today, everyone? With me today, I have Kim Lee right here. She's amazing person. We're going to have a great conversation. She's the owner and founder of Kawaii Coffee, a new coffee shop in the West Village that uniquely specializes in Vietnamese coffee. Her shop also takes inspiration from Asian culture and brings Kawaii to the Big Apple. But above all else, she is a New Yorker. Hey, Kim, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm very good. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here. You know, we met at Kim's coffee shop, and a few weeks ago, we had a great conversation. And, you know, it was just so great to have you here again, and you have such good energy. And
This is my first time I do podcast. And
Really?
yeah, this is like since I have this shop, I have a opportunity to experience so many different things. For
Mhm.
example, I was on TV, I was on live TV, and I was on NBC, and I was on Fox,
Right?
and now this is a podcast. So um, I was so stressed out before for the shop, but right now I feel like I start to enjoy the journey
Yeah.
and be with you today in the first time ever in my entire life for the podcast. It's actually this is one of the fun journey that I have.
Oh, I'm so happy you're here. This is really, really great. So I really want people to get to know you, get to know about your business. So let's start from the beginning when you were this tall. So where were you born? I mentioned it, but go ahead, tell us all
Yeah,
about.
so
Mhm.
I'm very Vietnamese. I'm born and raised until I'm 21,
Mhm.
and then I start to move to Australia, Melbourne, for a
Wait,
short
when did you
time.
move to Australia?
When I'm 22.
Wow.
And
So real quick, so is your family and everything still back in Vietnam?
yes, I
Mhm.
have my parents and my extended family in Vietnam. So
Mhm.
my root is very strong in Vietnam still. And then I have me here with my sister. My sister
I love it.
just moved from Toronto to New York for the last like 6 months.
Mhm.
And my brother just went to Toronto, just go to Toronto for
Wow.
college. So
Mhm.
basically, my strong root's still in Vietnam.
Well, what's interesting too is I have a really good friend. Her name's Carrie Rucker. I've known her most of my life. She's one of my dearest friends, and she's been to Vietnam a couple of times, and she absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
She says it's one of her favorite places to go.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, I don't want to be biased, but I
Mhm.
think Vietnam is way better than Thailand. So you have to go to Vietnam because we have a very strong food and drink
Mhm.
culture. But the thing is make it special is the people.
Right. Aw.
So because the people Vietnamese people go through so much war. And when you remember about Vietnam, you think
Right.
about like, oh, Vietnam American War, Vietnam Chinese War, Vietnam Japan War, or French. So we
Right.
go through so much periods of our history for war. Then you think about it, it's like almost feel like, oh, maybe negative, maybe the developing country or something. But the people, despite how many things that they go through, they are the sweetest people. They're so sweet, they're so welcoming. They almost
That's
you
what
feel
Carrie
like
said.
they forgot that what happened to them or something, but they just welcome
Aw.
you with their wholehearted.
You know what else I heard too? Carrie loved it because it's also very inexpensive to travel to Vietnam
Yes,
or visit Vietnam.
mm,
The hotels and everything. I heard. I
yes.
mean, Carrie's like it's a dream. It's beautiful. It's
Yes.
inexpensive
Yes.
and.
We have like the most
Mhm.
beautiful beach. We
Mhm.
have city. We have amazing. You can travel in budget, but still have the
Mhm.
amazing time, or you can be expensive as you want.
What city did you grow up in?
Ho Chi Minh City,
Oh yeah.
aka Saigon.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's the biggest city in Vietnam.
Wow. Do you
But
know? Do you know the population, so to
I think
speak?
about roughly about above 10 million.
Bigger than New York City.
Yes, it's very dense. and you see people everywhere. The traffic would scare you, but somehow people navigate it.
Right.
I know.
So you actually moved from Vietnam and what's say the name of the city again? I don't want to.
Saigon or Ho Chi
Yes,
Minh
Saigon.
City.
I was going to
Yeah.
say yes, Saigon. And to a smaller city of New York City. Is that funny?
That is so funny. Meanwhile, New York is the biggest city, like such a big deal in the entire world. And
Right.
I come from the city like just bigger than that.
That's so
But
funny.
there a lot of things remind me of where I coming from in New York. First, the traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Second, how many people. And third, how dense the city would be. But then somehow I navigated. I have
Yep.
no problem. I love it. I found familiar things and I love it.
Wow. Yeah, this city is amazing. I'd love to go to Saigon now. Maybe I'll go back with you. And you're married, right?
I am married.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when you and your husband are, do you have children?
We don't.
Aw.
Wait, not yet.
Well, count me as your child, and I'll go with you and your husband back to
Better.
Vietnam.
I adopt you.
You could do that. That's amazing. Okay, so then you leave. Why did you to go to Australia? But why did you leave Vietnam to go to Australia?
My husband's job.
Oh, nice.
So when I met my husband, I was like in Vietnam still. And then he already moved there for like 4 years in Melbourne
Oh, nice.
for his job. And then we met and then he's like, would you like to experience this Australia a little bit before my job finishes? And then we have to move either back to a new job or move back to Toronto, Canada. That's where he's from.
Right.
So then I said, okay, let's do it. So then I lived in Australia for a little bit over a year. And then
Mhm.
his job finished. And then his next job happened to be in New York.
What did you like Australia?
Can I tell the truth?
Well, I mean, I've always wanted to go there, but go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, I live in a
Mhm.
right downtown Melbourne. Like you
Mhm.
cannot pick any better place than that.
Mhm.
So, but I honestly don't like it. I mean, I like it in a way of
Mhm.
like that's was the first time ever I get out of Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, into
Gotcha.
like a Western style. So,
Gotcha.
so much thing to learn. But then I'm like, I'm taking it in. I'm not overwhelming, but I feel like it's not my place. The energy doesn't match. So,
I mean, that's okay to say. I
yeah,
mean, it just,
but they have a lot of positive thing about Australia
Mhm.
and also the negative things. But
I mean, I hear people say that about New York too. They don't like it.
yeah.
It's up for them. It's
I
not for them.
enjoy my time there, but
Yeah.
I was very happy to live.
Mm-hmm.
And when I come here, I love every bit of it. Not immediately. It takes me some time.
Here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not immediately because I still have to navigate, new life, new friend, making friend. You're very
Right.
alone.
And
And
what year did you move here?
2014.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
2014,
you've been here about the
2014.
same time. I was 2013. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So take me some time, but I like the city a lot. I like American spirit into it, and I like New Yorker style. Everyone have their own style. Everyone have their own dreams, and everyone try to make it. And you bump into a lot of people with very interesting life, and you like, wow, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
And the thing that I love the most is how diverse it is. And I think the only thing that make me want to open the shop in such the concept that I have into this specific city, because I think people will be open-minded and want
Mhm.
to experience this because the New Yorker, that's what they are.
So that's interesting. I haven't really traveled the world, sadly. I wish I had, but
Oh,
so you're in Vietnam, Saigon, and then you go to Australia. Do you feel New York is a much more diverse city than those two?
yes.
Yeah.
Vietnam,
Mhm. Or
Saigon.
Toronto, even.
Yes.
Mhm.
Toronto is I would say Toronto very similar, but New York's still more diverse.
Yeah.
But Toronto is like everyone come from every place, and New York the same way. Vietnam, most of everyone is Vietnamese.
Mm-hmm.
So we like the same thing. We don't like the same thing. We wear the same clothes. We don't wear the same clothes.
Yeah.
Our family this, our family that.
Yeah.
Basically, everyone have the same story.
Interesting.
Melbourne is like also a little bit more diverse,
Mhm.
but a lot of Asian because very close to Asia continent,
Correct. Yeah.
and a
Yep,
lot of
I've heard that.
Australians there. So
Uh-huh.
that's majority dominant Australia. And then you
Uh-huh.
have smaller group, like a little bit different type of people there, but it's not as even close to diversity to
Right.
New York City.
There's just something magical about this city, isn't it?
Yes, it just make people come from everywhere. So you have people open businesses or have a trillion different idea,
Mm-hmm.
and all you need is just like one or few of that idea work and to make the city great.
Well, for me to grow up in the United States, and I mean, there's this magnetism that New York has that brought me here because of the diversity in every single way, shape, and form. We just blend together and we all appreciate each other for the most part.
Yes.
and we respect each other and we all get along, and that's what I love to live my life
Yeah.
by.
I, I
Hmm.
I I feel the same way like
Hmm.
you do. So that's why I'm very inspired to have my first business in New York. Not everyone else, New York.
So okay, so you're living in New York for how long until you started your business? And tell us about yeah.
I have a few different business before I
Oh
have
yeah,
this
let's hear
one,
about it.
but this
Yeah.
one, every business is honestly is not connected. They're
Correct.
very
Okay.
separate. So at first I don't know what to do with my when I moved here. I know no one. So then I went to a school and then I was like I college graduate in Vietnam and everything. So
Uh-huh.
when I come here, the degree I got is not really working.
Mhm.
So then I'm like, well,
Understood.
yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
go to college again. I'm not a college girl. I'm not a corporate girly. I'm not a corporate. I'm not. I'm not. I don't have a personality for that. I talk way too much and I talk way too appropriate things. So I said, and I always my dream is very small. I just wanted to have a couple of shop that I own, and I wanted to run it the way I want, and I want to meet people, and I
Mhm.
enjoy people conversations. And I really enjoy when I can able to connect with people.
Right.
So then that's why I have little small business everywhere. So
Mhm.
then I go to the nail school. I was just like, just so random. I'm like, okay, let's just do it. I think I never do it. So let's
Yeah.
do it. I graduate. And then lucky enough, my instructor in the class is like, oh, there's like this Japanese Pacific nail salon looking for, like, wanna try? I say, oh, okay. So
Yeah.
when I went there and then I just discovered an entire new world that the Japanese technique or for doing manicure and pedicure. And I'm like, what is this thing? What is this place? And then I managed to learn my way through and I
Mhm.
stick with it for a good time, like a year ish to learn the technique. And then I start to have my private beauty studio.
Oh,
And when I feel
nice.
like I good enough, and I start to just like at that time I also like I don't know if people come. It's way too many competition, right?
Right.
And
Understood.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm just gonna try. If it doesn't work, at least I try. So I don't missing out anything. So then quickly after that, one person, two person, they tell their friends, and I have a fully booked schedule. And because it's private, only one on one. So then I learn so many about people, their life, and then they tell me everything that maybe they tell me things that they don't even tell their family.
Like
So
what?
like who they date, who they cheat with, like what
Who they
happening,
cheat with.
how they frauding the system, how to make money, and I'm like, "Oh, should I? Should I? Do I'm safe?" Now I know too much.
Yeah, exactly.
And just, it's
Yeah.
very fun, but I don't know for some reason I always like keep all the secret and I never cross story to
Right.
anyone. Yeah.
Mhm.
So and those women that I'm able to be beginning when I moved to America, it's like a stone for me because they was like not just client, but like the whole support system that I got when I moved to America. And I'm
Oh, I
able
love it.
to have like relationship, like a friendship or something with those women too. They amazing.
What
So
neighborhood was this in? Was this in the West Village too?
no, it's not in the West Village. It was
Uh-huh.
in Midtown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because all of the Japanese
Right.
salon, the first one in Soho,
Mhm.
and then the second one and everything
I
in the
almost
Midtown.
said Midtown too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So some reason it's just easy for people to commute,
Right.
and
Exactly. It's
stuff.
centrally
Yeah,
located,
yeah, yeah.
subway and
And
everything.
then the last one, that's when I moved from Midtown to Hoboken.
Oh,
Actually,
wow.
yes, because then I have a whole thing over there. I do is very good. I make I make good, and stuff. I was happy, and then I'm just like now do I want to expand it or do I want to do something like 180 different? And I always have passion about like Vietnamese coffee and my own culture. So that's why I'm just like, you know what? Let's just erase it
Mhm.
and then have this coffee shop, just like build from zero and see if I
Wow.
can able to duplicate myself one again. So that's when the idea coming from.
And that's where I met you, is at your coffee shop. Yeah.
Exactly.
Am I saying it correct? Kauai or Kauai or
Kawaii.
Kauai?
No, you say
You know
perfect.
how Hawaii, they say that?
Very similar.
Oh, very similar.
Yes. It's
Oh,
just because Hawaii and Kawaii just different in H and K. It's the
yeah.
same thing.
And what is Kauai? Is
Mean cute.
Oh, it means oh, yes, you told me
Yes,
that.
it's
It's
mean
cute.
cute in
Yeah.
Japanese.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
was like, because my shop is about cuteness.
It
So
is.
then,
Yep.
but the cute in Vietnamese is very long words. It's called dễ thương. And I don't want people to
Yeah.
have a trouble to say dễ thương coffee. And I'm like,
Yep.
I don't
A lot of
think,
Americans trying to say it, they're like,
or
"Well,"
anyone
yeah.
that's not Vietnamese. So I'm like, you know what? I love anime. Let's take
Yeah.
kawaii. Everyone can say it.
Well, tell everybody where your shop is too.
So it's
Yeah.
located very in the heart of the West Village. It's
Yep.
on Christopher, the corner of Christopher and Bleecker.
Yep.
Well, Bleecker is very busy,
Yeah.
always with tourists, so we just off Bleecker
Just a hair off.
tiny
Yeah.
bit. But we full with we neighbor with very famous places like Lean Industry Pizza.
The famous, how do you, I don't ever know how to say that. It's one of the most famous pizza places in the city. It's basically across the street from you.
Yes,
And L Industry or Lindustry?
Lin Industry.
Oh,
Everyone calls
it
it Lin
again?
Industry. Lin Industry.
Oh, it's Lin Industry.
Yes, everyone
Okay.
say that.
Nobody knows
So,
how to say it.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
good.
how
I
they
feel
say
better
it.
because I'm like, how do I say it?
No, that's exactly how it is. Everyone just like Lin Industry, Lin Industry. And then, so we on Christopher.
Yeah.
117 Christopher Street.
Yeah, I think you're just such an ideal spot. I mean, I love it. And you're close to the friend's apartment, so to speak. And
We go to the PAT system to go to Jersey.
oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, so people get off that and you start to
The
go to the West Village.
subway, super easy.
Yes.
You know, the one train comes. Just what train would you take? The one or the?
A one.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
one train, or even the A and B, C.
You can able to,
and the D,
B,
just-
D,
yeah,
F too.
on 6th Avenue.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not far at all.
Yeah, I mean, so tell us about Vietnamese coffee. What do you love about it, and why did you decide to go with Vietnamese to introduce Vietnamese coffee to Americans?
Yeah, so a Vietnamese coffee, this is the bean, right? We
yeah,
call that Robusta bean.
yeah.
So this Robusta beans grow in Vietnam,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Oh,
So
wow.
for some reason, the soils in Vietnam land, whatever, work really well with this bean. So we are growing it like no problem. So we export. Vietnam actually is the second largest country to export coffee beans.
Really?
And the majority of it is Robusta beans. So this type of beans have twice as of caffeine and a little bit more chocolatey, a little bit more nutty.
Mm-hmm.
But it could be a little bit bitter depending on the type of like Robusta bean you chose.
I
So
loved
that's
it.
why it's make it like
Yeah.
special. And the way we made it, I don't know, something with Spanish latte. Have you ever heard of like Spanish latte? They're using condensed milk.
Oh, yes, I have heard
Yes.
of that. Yeah,
For
yeah.
some reason, Vietnam using the condensed milk too.
Mm-hmm.
So we using that beans and then we use condensed milk and we put it together. But the way we make it, not with the OG Vietnamese coffee, we make with the fin drip.
Mm-hmm.
So we creating the fin drip. It's just like drip coffee,
Mm-hmm.
very slow. So then they're very mini things and they give you a little cup. They put the drink strip on top.
Yeah.
Then they put the hot waters inside and they put a little bit condensed milk. And
I
so
love
this is what the Vietnamese people in the morning, okay? They wake up, there's no rush, so slow there. You go to your favorite coffee shop, you sit there forever, right? You put your coffee, you wait for it to drip. You
Nice.
have enough time in your life that you sit there, you wait it to drip. It takes 20, 30 minutes to drip.
Wow.
And then you mix it up with the condensed milk.
20, 30 minutes to drink?
Yes, that's what I'm
Wow.
saying. They're so
Well,
slow there.
Yeah.
You just sit there, you just
I
talk
need to
about
move to Vietnam.
with your friend. You read newspaper. You just sit there. You're just like, it's dripping. Okay. And then you mix it up with the whole thing with a little spoon.
Mm-hmm.
You add ice and you sip it. So your morning routine for coffee take you about an hour or two, sometimes 3.
Wow.
And then people take their family there for family reunion sometime.
Mm-hmm.
Or then you talk about business. You talk about everything at the coffee. That's the culture there. People drink coffee from morning to even 11 p.m. They still drink coffee.
Wow.
And they bring their business partner to talk about coffee. They're dating there. They go there for a day. They talk about anything over coffee. So they
Wow.
wait for it to drip.
I didn't know Vietnam has such a huge coffee culture.
We have our own thing. That's why like a lot of like that's why Starbucks, when it comes to Vietnam, they have such like they didn't know that we have our own Vietnamese coffee
Wow.
cultures are so big that they cannot expand as fast as they can. And some of their stores closing right now. Because the
Wow.
Vietnamese culture, coffee is so strong.
American. Well, you don't want the American style of
Yes,
coffee.
yes.
Yes.
At first,
Uh-huh.
the young people, most of the Starbucks when they come to Vietnam is young people.
Yeah.
The older people, they have their own thing, everything.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yes. And then that's what the OG, right? So
Mhm.
then moving on, when you have a new generation, Gen Z,
Yes.
then they start
Gen
to
Z.
Gen Z.
Yep.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes we don't
Yep.
know.
Yep.
Then they imported, they started just like, espresso machine. They imported with like a little bit corporate with Italian culture. Then they bring like pour over from everything. So now Vietnamese coffee could come from a traditional
Wow.
or espresso make or pour over or anything. It's still Vietnamese coffee.
Which one did you make me? And I loved it.
We
If you don't
are,
remember, it's okay.
yeah.
'Cause you made me a coffee, but
I make you the situationship, which
oh,
is like I name all my
yeah, I love
coffee
it.
is like relationship status.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me what you made me, and then tell us the names
I
of
make
them.
you
Yeah,
the OG, the
situation. Yeah.
situationship. Yes. So it's have Vietnamese coffee bean.
Uh-huh.
But I don't make with the OG way. I make with the espresso machine because I tested both,
Yeah.
and the OG way take way too long.
Yeah, exactly.
The New York, they don't have time. They don't have that
Yeah.
patience. Nobody sit there for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Second, to preserve the coffee scent. When it's fresh like
Yeah.
that, you take all of the scent and the caffeine and everything, and it can be volume and it could be like consistent. That's why I'm using like the espresso machine instead of fin drip.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I put a little condensed milk, and I put a little bit of secret sauce in there and
Yeah.
coffee,
It was so
and
good.
then I add you a little bit coffee jelly. That's the only thing in
What'd
the
you add? What'd you say?
coffee jelly.
What is coffee jelly?
Coffee jelly is like Jello, right? Jello.
Jello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we using the texture is very similar to Jello,
Oh, wow.
but we make with coffee, so it's a topping.
How cool is
Yeah,
that?
so that's what I gave you.
It was really good. I loved
Yeah.
it, you know?
Because we were selling for American or for mixture like raisins and grounds and stuff. So
Yeah.
we have to be adjusting the amount of sugar or amount of coffee, and we have to very careful when I selected beans. I
Mhm.
don't want I don't want people to be like too bitter, like a Vietnamese way.
Oh, so you have to adjust the Vietnamese coffee to the taste buds of
Yes,
Americans.
but still somehow reserve the Vietnamese.
Correct.
Yes.
That's gotta be a delicate dance
Yes,
right there.
it take me a long time to
Yeah.
test and send out sample. I basically drive every one of my neighbors, whatever people I know insane when I keep sending them coffee and I receive feedback. And then one of the bean too bitter, the other
Yeah.
bean too soury. This is too much. This is too this. Give me aftertaste. Give me a headache. Da, 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 da.
Give me headaches.
Yeah. So then I have to combine it, and then I come with a perfect coffee bean combinations. And then
Yeah.
how much sugar is enough? How much not sugar is enough? Can I adjust it based on a customer? And then I able to figuring out everything. Is everything adjustable?
You're like an alchemist. Is that the right word? Do you know that word?
Yes, I know.
Is
There's
that
a book, a
Yeah,
famous
is that
book
is
too.
that what am I saying the right word? I don't even know if I'm saying the right word. Sound like a mixologist, you know? It's
Yeah.
But it's interesting.
Mixology.
Yeah, you're making me think like the things that I've taken for granted that people from other countries who migrate over here and is migrate the right word?
Yes.
Yep. And so and and they started a coffee shop or any type of business dealing with food or beverage. And I've taken for granted that, people from different countries have to actually acclimate their business when it comes to food or beverage to the taste buds of Americans.
Yes.
I've just never thought about that.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I feel like if you so like I'm so Vietnamese, I have to make everyone have to taste exactly the taste bud of the Vietnamese.
Hmm.
It honestly it make no sense because they people grow up here, they have different taste buds.
Yeah.
So like you can make them just do like that. It's just almost like it's like you like it, but doesn't mean people have to like it. You know. So that's why I think normally people adjust it to a little bit or a lot to the taste of people in here a little bit.
Well, it's funny too because I was at this food truck last night up in Washington Heights, and it was delicious. But they had all these spices, and they said, and they were my friend was doing a video up there, and I'm in the neighborhood, so I went to go. We went together, and it was really fun. I actually had like the best burger. But it's funny because he was making me the burger, he's telling me all the ingredients.
Yeah.
Because it's got a lot of Latin flavor to it, and which I love. But
Mm.
unfortunately, I always say this. I'm like, sorry, I'm an old white man. It can't be spicy. And
Yeah.
people always laugh. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I got to be upfront with you.
Yeah. But
And I'm
but
like, I'm sure you already thought of this too. Like,
but you're open minded. You
Yeah.
want to try people
Oh,
that
yeah.
from different culture,
Mhm.
But I telling you something very because in Vietnam, most everybody is Vietnamese. 99.99%
Yeah.
Vietnamese, right? So when you try when people like now they have like people from Europe, people from America open businesses in Vietnam and they open restaurant, right? For
Right.
example, pizza.
Right.
Let's take that. They have to make it a little bit to Vietnamese taste too.
Yeah, just the opposite.
Yes,
Exactly.
because
this is
if you-
fascinating. I've
yeah,
never thought about
if
this.
you put like let's say Parmesan cheese, which
Yeah.
I love, which
Yeah.
we all love, but if you put like that, sometimes Vietnamese, I'm just take example. I don't know, okay? That Vietnamese people don't like it, and you just like, I don't want it. You have to make something other thing like that, and then they have to. You have to be curated to a little bit to the native culture. That's just
Yeah.
how it is. Because if you keep it 100% Vietnamese, just like, yo, drink it. You have
Yeah,
to
yeah.
drink it. You have to like it. Like there's no way. Way too sweet.
This is just it's fascinating to me. It's fascinating to me. And you know, you're the reason I love doing this podcast because you're oh sorry.
It's fine.
You're teaching we hit feet by accident.
It's cute.
Yeah. Um but you're teaching me. I love this. That's what I love about the podcast is guests such as yourself, and you're teaching me, about about the world,
Yes.
and things that I've taken for granted, even being a New Yorker for so long.
Yes.
I didn't really think about
I
this.
feel like the whole world come here. You have a little bit of every culture in
Yeah.
here, and you learn it.
But I'm going to America. I'm just gonna start a restaurant. But I gotta make sure that the Americans like it. I gotta do little, mixing stuff around to make sure we got a little,
Yeah.
But that's really cool. That's really interesting. Well, good for you. And how long has your business been open?
So our first day of open was December 13 of 2025.
Oh, nice.
So we're a little bit over 4 months old at this
Oh,
point.
nice. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So we kind of new, not too
Mhm,
new, but
mhm.
still kind of new. Discovery phase.
Well, I love it. Tell them your address again so people can go
Yes,
see you too.
Kawaii Cafe, 117 Christopher Street.
Yep, across from
Lin Industry.
Lit Industry.
You
Yeah.
got this.
Yeah. So yeah, it's in such a great neighborhood too. And I like what did you do to, it's important when you walk into a business, how it makes you feel. And right when I walked in there, it made me feel really, really good. It's bright, it's airy. So what did you do did you kind of study or when you open a business, you have to think about all these
Yes,
things.
yes.
So what did you think about? And what did
So
you do?
fortunately, I've been to places, not
Mhm.
just America. I've been a little bit of
Right.
Europe, a little bit of Asia, and I don't drink alcohol.
Me neither.
But I love
Mhm.
I love coffee.
Mhm.
So because I go to many coffee shops, so every time I go, I take note of things that I like and I don't like. And
Mhm.
West Village is very like rustic sometimes, a little bit more artsy, a
Right.
little bit more darker. When you go
Mhm.
somewhere, a little bit more dim light, more darker.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to find your
Like how
own
you're
way.
talking
And
softer
it's like, yeah,
too.
you just like have to whispering suddenly, and then a lot of coffee shop there, they have a very similar theme. I think that's the vibe, right? So
Yeah.
then for me, I want it to be bright. As a girly girl, I love pink. I love
Yeah.
bright color, I love pastel.
Yeah.
That's why I love Taylor Swift. Duh. And then, so then I wanted my space to be a little bit brighter, a little bit
Yeah.
more pinker, but everyone can come, not just girl, just everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. So lighting up, and I
Mm.
like anime, so I incorporate animes into it.
Yep.
And so when I open the shop, I tell very specifically with my architect,
Mhm.
and I said, listen, uh, this is what I want. Bright, cute, feel very welcoming. Like I want to feel like people, even if they have a bad day when they walked in, something light them up.
Yeah, and I like how
And
it's rare in New York City to have sunlight.
yes,
And you had sunlight coming in the front
yes,
window. I would notice that right away.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a good
Uh-huh.
spot for taking a selfie and stuff too.
So
That's
yeah,
why I put a
you
mirror
made
right
it
there.
it's like a banquette or little
Yes,
it's
you can
cute.
sit there. You can have a chat with your friends.
Yeah, it's
I
really
know my
nice.
shop is small, so seat is very limited. But
And it's New
somehow,
York. That's we're
somehow
used to
people
that.
make it work, and they
Yeah.
love to sit in that spot a lot because you can see people walk by too.
Yeah.
So that's when I could say confident that my shop design and colors and vibe is only me can provide, because like I said, they very more dim light, more like whispering sounds, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So
Yeah.
my shop is like cute, smiling, happy and stuff. And the thing I think it make my shop very different is like customer service. Because I'm from Vietnam. I already told you before beginning
Mhm.
that our people, we very like hospitality, we
Mhm.
very like warm. So I want to translate that to my shop
You
too.
definitely
You
do.
would be like, "Hi, how are you? Are your day
Mhm.
going okay?" and
Mhm.
stuff. And then I care a lot for the experiences, because sometimes it's not about coffee. Sometimes people may be looking for a little connection.
Correct.
So
Correct.
you already know, like we do a trillion side hustle to survive and to pay rent or to do anything to this
Mhm.
city. So a cup of coffee sometimes just like "Oh, you good? You okay? Are you like,
Yeah.
how your day? You be fine. You got this. Whatever." Just a tiny conversation. They don't take that much time in your day, but people feel great. And maybe
Yeah.
you never see that person again. Maybe they're just passing by. Maybe they're tourists, but that conversation go home with them. Just say, "Oh, I went to this coffee shop. I met this barista. She
Right.
asked me how my day. She really cared if I like the
That's
drink."
important.
And then they just like, you know what? Maybe I love this. Maybe little energy carry on today.
Yeah.
And that's what I want it to be. And so far, I feel good that I can able to translate that because I start to see familiar faces.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they liked it, and they start to open up more.
Yeah.
"Oh, Kim, I just got a job that to talk about last week. Oh,
Right.
Kim, I moved," and I'm like, suddenly you have a little bit of update of their life, and then you're just like, "Oh, I'm happy. I'm a part of a little bit of your conversation."
Yeah.
It's just like it's okay because think what go around come around. And I'm sure when I have a bad day or something, if I go somewhere, if I need help, maybe some way down the road that someone gonna wanted to talk to me, want to help me out, or something too. That's how I think about life.
Yeah. I'm not, yeah, I completely get it. I love it. And I think New Yorkers love that connection too. We
Yeah,
really do.
yeah,
People think New Yorkers are like, you know, heavy skinned or whatever the word is
yeah,
and
yeah.
mean. I
Don't
mean,
care, just
yeah, I
going,
mean,
always rude. It's
yeah,
not true. It's
yeah.
not true.
We notice the beautiful things in
It
life,
is, and you
like the sunlight in your front window,
exactly.
and the
Or
connection.
you always
Hmm.
helpful. New Yorker very helpful. They
Very
just help,
helpful.
but you just have to be fast because we have to go somewhere. What do you want to do?
This is true.
Go that way
Hmm.
and get out of my way.
I was at the Staten Island Ferry today leaving, and I saw this couple, this family looking at the map or whatever, and I tried to help them.
Yeah.
And they were like, looked at me up and down, and they're always like trying to cite, they're like, is this guy like a scammer or something, And I'm just like, and I'm like, I'm walking by you trying to be nice, not trying to,
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
people are, receptive, but some people don't even, they act like they don't even see me, like they
Yeah.
don't hear me. I'm like, I'm like, but it's fine,
It's fine. But I'm sure
Yeah.
if someone looked troublesome, you would love to just kind of like, yo, you need help or something? But
Yeah.
then fast. I have 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Hurry. Don't ask me too
Exactly.
much.
I like to see in the subway too, like people see people looking at the map, and
Yeah.
like New Yorkers jump in and they need help, you need
Yeah.
help.
Or just
So-
like, oh, something, just get out here. Get up, get out. Done.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Exactly.
Get
You
out.
get out right here, boom, you're here. Yeah.
Exactly. I see that a lot.
Yeah. Well, how did you pick the space where your business is right now?
I'm big on spiritual work.
Oh, I
I
love
feel
it.
like if you
Yeah.
feel it, then that's it for you.
Hmm.
Before I went select this place, I went from Chelsea, from K-Town, from Midtown,
Wow.
from East Village, from Chinatown to West Village. Yeah, so I've
Wow.
been over the place because
Yeah.
though it's the type I think that's my clientele at, my like the people targeting.
Yeah.
So I could be open the same space with the same place
Hmm.
with bigger space and less rent than I have right now in East Village or in Chelsea, anywhere else. But I just not feel it doesn't hit you immediately. You're just like, this is not feel like it is. It's just like you met the love of your life. You're
Right.
like, this is it.
Exactly.
Or you can just stay for forever and you just still not sure. You're like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I want to commit. But then when
Yeah.
you met the love of your life, you're just like,
This
yeah,
is it.
this is it. This is
Yeah.
the one. This is it. And she's crazy, and you're just like, yeah, this is the one still. Right? Oh, he crazy, and you just like,
Yeah.
uh-huh,
Yeah.
I can deal with this, and you try to make it work. Even though clearly
Crazy.
he's a psychopath right there, and you're just like, no, this is it. So when I see the
Yep.
space, and I after that, before that I was like 20 space.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't feel it.
Wow.
I love it. I like it, but not the one.
Hmm.
And when I see this space, I think, this is it. This is it.
Yeah.
So then I would just like quickly proceed with everything.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's a little bit difficult for that space because the previous tenant, she was a psychic scammer or something. I'm not sure. But she was
Wow.
there. She was like do some shady business over there or
Yeah.
something. She get kicked out. She lived behind a mess. So then at the new tenant, me and the landlords and everybody have to try to just kind of like figuring out how to get rid of the mess that she left behind. And
Wow.
then the landlord wants a certain way. I want a certain way. So then the whole process of that is like, at that time, I could back down. I could be like, let's find a new place. Let's just
Right.
find a new space in the West
Hmm.
Village too. Let's just not do
In
this.
the West
But
Village.
for some reason, I'm so stubborn. I'm like, no, we make it work. We make it work. And I don't know why we make it work, but we're going to make it work. And then
Aw.
I make it work. And I actually make it work. But the
Yeah.
whole thing delayed the process of opening a lot.
Yeah.
Because
Hard.
apparently original plan, I wanted to open in September. no one want to open a new business in December or January. It's the dead season of a business,
Oh, is
especially
it?
yeah, because it's
I know
winter.
January is, but December, like Christmas season
Yeah,
is?
yeah, yeah. Christmas is still. If
Yeah.
you would
Oops.
depend, you so like for me, I'm so new. Nobody
Yeah.
know who I am or what
Yeah.
I'm selling, and the
Yeah.
concept is so new. What do you mean Vietnamese coffee? What do you mean topping? What do you mean coffee jelly? It's just
Mhm.
overwhelming people. So then, and then but I don't sell. They have to come in. They confused. They're like, oh, what do you mean coffee jelly? What do you mean Vietnamese coffee? So I do a lot of explaining work.
Yeah.
Beginning. So then people are just like, and then around the corner of my shop is like 3 or 4 very viral everywhere in TikTok, social media, coffee shop. So they can go there. Why would they come to me? You know? So
Right.
it was very tough. And then because of all that mess with the previous tenant, then I delayed it and then I have trouble some and stuff. But I get through it. So now it's become more like stable and project
Mhm.
positive movements and stuff. But it was tough.
Oh, I don't even know about you don't even have to bring them up, but I mean, I don't even know about the viral coffee
Oh,
shops near
they
you.
are so viral. They like
Really?
you just typing in like coffee in New York, and they just boom, 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 boom.
Really?
Every single day, there's a line every single day, and they sell very similar price point to my coffee. And like, if you already know the place, you go there. Why would they
Correct.
come in to
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, just how it works.
I have
Yeah.
no reputation yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You'll
nothing.
build it.
But it needs time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You'll build it. You'll build it. Definitely
Yeah.
will. I mean, I think your coffee shop is amazing. Um, it'll be fun. Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna come back, soon and see you. Or are you there that often or
I'm there quite often.
yeah.
But you can always let me know in
Yeah, I'll
advance,
text
and
you.
I make
Yeah.
sure I'm there when you there.
Yeah.
We always
Yeah.
have new drink here and there. I can give you a different one next time. Maybe I
Yeah.
give you what are we?
Yeah.
Or gaslight
Yeah.
or
Oh, is that a
red
name? Oh,
flag.
I love you. Those are names of your I
Yes,
love
we have
it.
gaslight.
Those are fun.
We have slow burn.
Yeah.
We have what are we? We have Netflix and chill. What are you on this day if you dating? Like I would
Wow.
be
I
like,
love
are
it.
you gaslight? I give you a gaslight.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So, now that you're here in the United States and you've lived here how long now?
11 year.
Yeah, same as me, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you miss about Vietnam compared to the United States? And
Oh my
what do
gosh.
you love about the United States compared to
Yeah,
Vietnam?
I would say I miss the food the most. New
Yeah.
York have amazing food culture. Every cuisine from any other country on point, but
Yeah.
Vietnamese.
Really?
Because we have such a small population of Vietnamese people live in New York. First of all, they live a lot in California. Biggest town is Orange County.
Yeah.
And they have live a lot in Houston, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Second biggest town. Then they live warmer place or cheaper place, And then New York is just so cold, so expensive. They didn't like it. But then they just have very small community. So then not even community, just they spread out.
Right.
And then so they have like the OG business, like a little bit in Chinatown, a little bit here and there. But the food culture, Vietnamese food culture is not strong. So
Yeah.
suddenly, for some reason, younger people go to school, do things, and then suddenly they open more Vietnamese business in the city.
Nice.
So suddenly they get a little bit better. That's why I don't know. I don't do this by purpose, but suddenly I open my shop in the beginning of the wave. So
Mm-hmm.
I think more
Nice.
and more Vietnamese business gonna start opening even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so the missed things definitely the food.
Yeah.
The coffee I already got the coffee for myself,
Right.
so
Right.
I'm good.
Exactly. Uh-huh.
Other than that, I miss my family, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I feel like this is like home. I don't miss too much.
So New York, you feel like
Yes,
is
I
home.
feel good.
Yeah.
I feel good here. I feel very content.
What do you feel like that you love here in New York City that you didn't have in Vietnam?
Like I said, diversity.
Diversity. Yeah.
Also, different people, different fashions,
Mm-hmm.
different personality that
Mm-hmm.
Vietnamese don't have because
Oh yeah, you did say that. Yeah.
everyone is Vietnamese. We like to hate the same thing. And then
I love that
also,
you said we like and hate the same thing.
yeah, we just like we don't have it. We just don't have it. Now
Yeah.
I feel like every time I go back, I'm more American than Vietnamese. But when I come back here, I'm not American. I'm in the middle round.
Do your friends and family in Vietnam feel like you've been Americanized?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they say that all the time.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, starting off, I'm not that. I'm born and raised in Vietnam, but I
Mm-hmm.
always wanted to be like somewhere else for some reason. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I need something different. I cannot just love and hate the same thing.
Well, you know what? You know how New York City has parades for every culture?
Yeah.
Do we have a Vietnamese parade?
I don't think we do.
I don't think we do
Yeah, but
either.
we do celebrate, Lunar New Year.
Right,
So
exactly.
we do have. I heard that we have a very small community in the Bronx
Mm-hmm.
that we hosting our own Lunar New Year.
Oh, that's pretty
And then
cool.
we don't call that Chinese New Year because we're different.
I
So
was gonna
we
ask you if it's the
yeah,
same. Yeah.
we
Mm-hmm.
call that TET, Tet
Yeah, I've
Tet
heard of that.
Festival. Yes.
Exactly.
And I think they have a little bit celebrations going on in the Bronx or
Uh-huh.
some small communities spread out in Brooklyn or something. I
Mm-hmm.
think. I never been, I don't know. But yeah, that's our thing.
Yeah,
Um
I'm trying to. I'm yeah. So no parade because New York is so good about celebrating all the different cultures, and I usually cover most of the parades, and I'm trying to. I don't think I've seen
yeah,
Vietnamese.
I feel
We
like
need
if
to make
people
one.
move here
What'd you say?
more enough, like if Vietnamese people keep moving here a little bit more,
Yeah,
then we gotta have our own thing. For sure.
yeah,
But right now,
yeah.
maybe we're just so spread out. We're not
Hmm.
really like in the spot or something. So it's harder to get together or to hosting something or to make it like
Right.
that. Yeah. Maybe I hosting Vietnamese day or something like that in my
Right.
shop or something. I'm
I was
not
gonna
sure.
say that.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's you know what?
That's a good idea. Like
Yes.
have a like some outside some banners and
Yeah,
I don't know. You know what I
something
mean?
advertising something,
Yeah,
maybe
like
like a Viet day,
or
maybe
or
a
even
young
your
professional day or
lunar.
something.
When is your Lunar New Year?
Same day with
As you
Chinese
said,
New Year.
Chinese.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
so it's
different.
like January, February, or something.
It's every year is different.
Oh, it's oh yeah,
Normally it's January and February.
yeah.
So depend on the year.
I know it's always cold with
Yeah,
with
it's
Lunar New
always in
Year.
the winter,
Yeah,
but it does not have a set day. Every year is
it's
changing day. Yes,
changing.
yes. But
Yeah.
either it's in January or February.
Do you also do an animal as the year of?
Same.
Same
But
thing.
we have a one animal different. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have rabbit,
Oh, you don't have a rabbit?
but we have a cat.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we have a cat. Aged as the cat year.
Uh huh.
The Chinese don't have a cat. They have the rabbit. Yeah, but
Ah,
everything else the same.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm a monkey.
I don't know what I am.
Um, it's very easy. You can look up later. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I just know
Hey
I am a
Siri, what
monkey.
am I?
Exactly. What animal I am.
Yeah, exactly. When you first moved here to New York City, were you overwhelmed?
A little bit, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not overwhelmed with the people or the
Mm-hmm.
traffic or anything like that, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm overwhelming with like, I feel like everyone here they have their schedule. That everyone's so busy. Everyone
Uh-huh.
always trying to get from point A to point B and stuff. And I would feel like maybe all of these people,
Mm-hmm.
they all have figuring out their purpose, their dream, and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And
Mm-hmm.
here I am. I'm so new. What is my purpose? Will I ever find it here?
Mm-hmm.
Will I like it here, or will I resent it? That's the thing. Because when I look at people walking by or in a cafe or something, I feel like everyone is just so purposeful. Like it seems like
Yeah.
they're all figuring out. And then that's when I worry I was falling behind.
Aw.
Yeah. Or will I fry friends?
Mm-hmm.
Will I
I don't think you have an issue with that at all.
uh, actually you do. You do. You find some I'm easy to talk to.
Yeah.
I'm very open-minded and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But to find someone that you feel like you want to spend your precious time
Yeah.
to get to know, to become a
Good
friend,
point.
then it's hard. It's just like when you're dating. It's going to a date is
Yeah.
not a problem.
Yeah.
But find your person and want to commit is the problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, real quick, it's interesting about when you become older too,
Yes.
and to make friends that are
Yeah.
really best friends at this
So
age
hard.
is different. It's not,
Yes.
it's harder,
That's why all the friends
It's
you make
rare.
when
Yeah.
you're in college, in
Yeah.
your high school, you don't care.
Well, moving to New York older for me, and then
Same.
I met some really good friends
Yeah.
here that I even, my friend Chris and Emily Beck, they know
Yeah.
who they are,
Yeah.
and just to, I'll just tie this up real quick. It's
Yeah.
just, I had that conversation like, gosh, at this age to meet best friends is so unique now.
Yes. When you find one, you want to.
Yeah, it's a rarity.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. No. I
Yeah.
have the same exactly
Yeah.
like experiences too.
You just
So
made me think of that.
I still don't have I don't find my soulmate or best friends,
Mm-hmm.
but then my two best friends that actually live in Dallas, Texas,
Oh, nice.
and we love each other enough. We constantly visit each other, and I met them in Vietnam, and somehow we all
Oh,
of us
wow.
moved to America at
That's
the
pretty
same
cool.
time. I moved 2014. They moved 2013.
Nice.
I know, and I'm like, thought I would never see them again.
That's really sweet.
I
Now you
know.
have your best friends, and that's a quick plane ride compared to Vietnam.
Yes, yes.
So that's good
But
for
then other
you.
than that, I make my little bit circle small. But we
Uh-huh.
hang out sometime. We touch
Yeah.
base sometimes and stuff. But some people good to talk about something when other people good to
Yeah.
talk about other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what New York is good about too? I mean, you have your husband, which is amazing.
Yes.
Well, I don't really. It's a long story,
Yeah.
but or that's another podcast. But it's nice to. This city is great also to be alone in.
Yeah.
Like I see people that say they're lonely. I don't know how people could be lonely in New York City, in my opinion. I mean, there's just the city itself
It's
is
so
incredible.
much.
That
Yes.
takes up so much time.
I think maybe because of the mindset.
Yeah.
Maybe they don't know what they're looking for. So they
Yeah.
end up looking for nothing. And then they end up look to be lonely. Yeah.
Yeah, I just never felt that way.
No.
Let's do
it's-
some. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Oh no. I forgot. I'm Dory. I just say something. I was like, wait, I forgot.
You just cracked
It's
me
definitely
up.
dropped me. Dropped somewhere
Yep,
else.
I love it. Okay, so let's do some quick fire round questions. Coffee, iced or hot?
You can do both.
Oh, good answer.
You can do both. We're offering both. In the winter, hot, yes.
Mhm.
In the rest of the season, ice.
Nice. Vietnam or NYC food if you had to pick one for life?
NYC.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Because I can eat any other cuisine.
yeah.
I love Italian. I love Greek. I
Yeah.
love Korean. I love Thai. I
Mhm.
love Japanese. I can find anyone else.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
I
What's
can
one-
also fly to Houston or California if I really want to be like Vietnamese food.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Nice.
Vietnamese
Wow.
population.
Do you ever go to Florida?
I go sometime. I love
Do they have any
Miami.
good Vietnam places in Florida? 'Cause-
Not really, but I love Florida for different reasons. The weather, the beach,
Yeah, that's where I'm
the
from.
chill vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love Florida a lot.
Yeah, my mom and dad and my twin brother, my older brother, and all their families, they're all down there. What's one word that describes New York to you?
Awesome.
I
would
like it.
say yes. Awesome.
I love it. What's one word that describes Vietnam to you?
Hot.
Really?
The
Is it
weather.
always hot?
Mhm.
Tropical?
Very.
Yeah, I guess so.
Miami, Florida
Yeah.
in the summer,
Yeah.
hotter, more humid. Okay, just remember
Your
that.
face is just great. You're just so intense about it. I love it.
First thing first, I hear like hot.
You're like Miami because I worked in Miami and everything, and
July in Miami,
yeah.
Time 10.
Oh my gosh.
time 10. Not just that, time 10.
Well, I mean, living in Florida for so long before I moved here, or I lived in Orlando for a long time, and that's in the
Hot.
well, I mean, yeah, it's
It's
super
landlocked.
hot. It's in the center of the state. Like
Yeah.
people think it's on water. It's not. And
It's not.
In the summertime, it is like a
It's
frying pan. It's insane. And then,
I've been to Orlando for Disney World
exactly.
in the wrong month. So that's why I know.
Yeah, yep. I mean, when I go home to see my parents, it's usually in January, but I went last May. I'm sorry, when was it? Last June for
Yeah.
their
Is that
anniversary.
hot yet? I went there in July
Yeah.
because I didn't know.
Oh,
I thought I'd die.
summer storms.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, like crazy summer storms. Biggest NYC habit you picked up?
Spending money.
You didn't even hesitate either. You're like spending
You
money.
can't stop.
That's true. That's very true.
You can't stop.
know?
You walk out the door, minus $50
Yeah.
for breathing the air.
Yeah. True. Something you still miss from Vietnam daily.
Food.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet coffee or strong black coffee?
None of it. In the middle.
In the middle.
Yes.
2 more questions. One NYC neighborhood that feels most you. That feels like
West
you.
Village.
You know what? I was in my head. I was like, you're
Yes.
gonna say West Village. I feel that for me too. I do love that. I want to
Yeah.
live in that neighborhood too.
It's just so easy to walk around.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful brownstone. You have a little
Yeah.
shop. It's
Yeah.
like a little community in the big city.
It's very chill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even when you're busy, crazy in Midtown, and you want to West Village, you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's totally different
Yeah,
vibe.
so different.
And it's so beautiful.
Yes,
It's a
and you go to like water, you can just lay down and read your book
yeah.
in the good day.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only thing you don't spend money.
Yeah.
Other than
Exactly.
that, I'm not sure.
Exactly. Do you take the subway though?
I do.
Yeah. Is that the
Yeah.
only way you travel?
Yes.
Okay. I have one more question. If you weren't doing Kawaii Coffee, what would you be doing instead?
I would open an awesome nail salon,
Oh,
but
nice.
like for private,
Mm,
bougie, super high end nail salon.
nice.
For privacy, for women, relaxing, and
Hmm.
more like you could be at the spot for a therapy, almost
Nice.
for that, for the beauty and the therapy itself, not
Nice.
regular salon, like super awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I think this is an important question. I didn't think about this till now, but when I have females on the show,
Yeah.
I like to ask them about the subway, how they feel about the subway, because that's how we travel. That's how I travel.
Yep.
As a man, it's a different world. I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about life in general
Yes.
of being, just the things you deal with as a woman,
Yeah.
So, and I like to a woman's perspective on the subway.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think first time when I moved here, when I have to use it, I was shocked
Yeah.
because I thought it was like very new, like even futuristic subway. Because when I think about New York, I'm just
Oh,
like,
that's right. I
maybe
never
like,
thought of
oh my
that.
God, maybe it's gonna be very fabulous,
Yeah.
bougie. Oh my God. And you go somewhere, you're like, what is this? And then you
That's so
see, and then
funny.
you see like, oh, you have red on the side. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
And then yeah, and then
Yeah.
but then you start to get used to it, and then you just blend it in. But I do a little bit different these days that I have to be take off my headphones and stuff because I wanted to watch my surrounding.
Yeah.
Because with all the incidents with like people push into
Oh,
the
that
train
is
and stuff.
yeah.
So then I always back when
Yes.
before I would care less. So that's the only issue that I would think. And
Yeah.
also when it's a little bit late at night, I'd be like, maybe I take an Uber.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's smart for a woman,
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, so I'm glad but in general, that's pretty much the only way you travel?
Yes, I love taking subway,
Mhm.
and it's cheap. It's not cheap that this day anymore,
Yeah.
but it take you point A to point B, avoiding traffic. And I telling you, even if one day I like rich, filthy rich, I still taking the subway.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, I mean, I'd love to hear this, I mean, there's pros and cons to the subway, but in my opinion, for the most part, I think it's the way to travel,
yes. If you're
but
not taking the subway, you're not gonna get too much away around New York City. Like, come on,
yeah.
that's how you do it.
Well, thanks for
Yes,
your perspective because I think it's important for women to
that's why
hear.
I hate it when influencer. Oh my god, I'm gonna take a taxi. Oh no way. What do you mean you're taking the subway? Girl, where are you coming from? Ohio? Everyone taking the subway, girl.
Yes,
Relax. You're
yeah.
not that big deal.
Yeah,
Relax.
yeah. Well, I think a woman's perspective is very important, so thank
Yeah.
you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's close it up. I
That's
mean,
it.
I had the best time chatting with you. I can't wait to come to your coffee shop and chat and hang out. Meet your husband hopefully one day.
Yes. Oh my god.
Uh-huh.
If you're gonna love him too. He like
Oh,
angel. He's an
that's
angel.
awesome. So, Kim, before we let you go, we here at the New Yorkers podcast want to know what it means to you, Kim Lee, to be a New Yorker,
I think what does it mean for me to be a New Yorker, right?
right?
Is I telling you something funny. Every time when I go to Europe, it feel amazing when you say you're from New York.
Yeah.
And you have to watch people reaction just like, wow. Like, yeah, you know what? When you be in the greatest city on earth, it's bring you so much things. It's inspire your dream. Is you meet coolest people. And it's also you are New York already have a reputation to be an awesome. So
Hmm.
the fact that you are able to say you're from New York, that's already the huge reputation when you go to the world. So I think that's what it means to me.
Oh, I love it. That's really cool. I love it. So, Kim, thank you for joining us today on this episode of the New Yorkers podcast. Why don't you let everyone know where they can find you on social media and your business or whatever you want to tell us?
You
Hmm.
can find me and my shop and get awesome Vietnamese coffee at Kawaii Cafe, 117 Christopher Street, West
Hmm.
Village, New York City.
And what's just your social media, your Instagram or?
My Instagram is Kawaii Cafe. You spell it exactly like Hawaii, just with a K 203, and that's my social media. And the same thing for TikTok.
Very nice.
Yes.
Once again, everybody, I'm your host, Kelly Kopp, also known as New York City Cop, across all my social media.
Yeah, please like and subscribe to New Yorker podcast, and you can follow the New Yorker on social media at the New Yorker podcast.
You can leave a rating or a comment, everyone, to let us know how you are enjoying the show. We read through all your comments, and DMs. So please, we would love to hear from you. Thank you, Kmore_11211, Courtney Newman, and Lori Doris Foster for your kind words on the last episode. If you want to be featured at the end of an episode, leave a rating on Apple Podcasts or a comment on Spotify. But what's really awesome is, the people that I just mentioned are awesome. And I've actually spent a lot of time with Lori Foster and her husband over the years. They come here and visit New York City, and we become really good friends too. And I always joke around with them. I'm like, it's Lori Foster and the Foster kids.
Oh.
That's funny. Anyway, go ahead.
And thank you, Deborah Robinson, Mary Woodwine, and All Day NYC for your comment on the Facebook.
You know what? All Day NYC, I mean, everybody's amazing, and All Day NYC has an awesome Instagram account too on social media.
I have to follow.
Yeah. Have a lovely day, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye.
This is the last stop on this train. Everyone, please leave the train. Thank you for riding with MTA New York City Transit.